What's up, everybody? I'm the host of the Someday with Jay Barsky podcast. These tracks are snippets from our solo podcast that I thought would make a great motivational album. If you would like to listen to more inspirational content from us, make sure to subscribe to the podcast Someday with Jay Barsky. Thanks for listening to this. You should have no fear when it comes to achieving your someday. Fear is kind of a mindset to you. It is just a barrier in order to try to prevent you achieving your dreams because that's obviously going to happen. No matter what you do, no matter how many great things you accomplish, there's always going to be some kind of new challenge, especially as you grow and you develop. If you are going to be repetitive and do the same thing over again, you're going to come across the same challenges. But as you grow and try unique different things to help you grow and develop as a person, you're going to come across different issues to challenge you to help you grow. Fear comes into different forms. It comes to different shapes. It will always change. It's always going to come. It's normal to be fearful of different things when you are trying something new, something that you're not used to. It's okay to have that fear. What's not okay is to have that fear impact you in a negative way. What fear can do is lead to other negative avenues in your life. Fear leads to hate. It leads to anger, and eventually it leads you to a deeper dark side. You should be using that fear as a tool to motivate you, not to impact you in a negative way. Everyone has that fear. It's what you do with that fear is going to help you grow. You can't use that fear to put you down. You need to use that fear in a positive way to challenge yourself mentally to switch up that fear into something that works out in your favor. You shouldn't show that fear bothers you. Again, fear comes into different forms that will come to you. Sometimes you just need to ignore that fear. Sometimes you just need to ignore that vessel of fear that is trying to prevent you in achieving your goals. You should show fear that it doesn't bother you, that you have a strong armor around you, that anything fearful that comes your way is just reflected off the armor that you're wearing. That fear can cause you negative harms in your body. Every time one gets fearful of something mentally, it will cause certain reactions to the body, whether it's sweating or just something different reactions physically, maybe causing you to start biting your nails. Just little small things like that will start impacting your body in a negative way to kind of steer you into the direction that the fear wants you to go to. One thing I could recommend to help you overcoming those challenges, that those vessels of fear that come your way, is to be your own hype person. If you see that fear coming, hype yourself to it. Hype yourself to prepare for that challenge that will come your way because you know that you can overcome those challenges. You should look at fear as just another small battle for you to help prepare you to grow to those bigger things as you grow as a person, as you become more successful in life. So you may come across those repetitive challenges as you grow, and you can overcome those challenges quicker to the point that they will stop happening. So fear is just that state of mind that kind of prepares us to what the outcome might be. What's important to know is that you knew that was going to happen, that you knew that fear was going to happen, that you knew that anxiety might happen as well. What you also should know is that you can overcome those things. That's what you have that confidence in you. You can't prevent fear. Fear, I mentioned, fear is always going to come. And I go back to just being confident in yourself, in your craft, and whatever you do, anything that comes your way, it's okay to be fearful of what different things that might challenges that might come your way. But that confidence in you is that suit of armor that is preventing that fear to bother you, and that you can overcome it and do whatever you want to do. We all fall along this journey as we try to grow, getting better. And this is just trying to get better as a person, getting better as a human being, just trying to do good for the world. And as we try to develop and grow, there's times when we're going to be challenged either by ourselves or by others. And there's going to be times where we fall. When you fall, it doesn't mean you failed at it. It just means you fell. It just means you came across a challenge that you weren't expected. This happens when you get too comfortable. That's okay to fall, because whether someone's going to help you or you're going to go on your own 2 feet, the point is you're going to get up. You're going to get up after you fall. Independently, you should be able to pick yourself up, motivate yourself, because that motivation comes from within. ultimately motivation comes within yourself and then it exudes out of you in order to release that energy that you need to achieve your goals. It's easy to stay down. It's easy just to not get up. You may even lack the motivation to feel that energy. You may lack the motivation within. But what help fill that void where there's lack of motivation is consistency. So there's going to be times just because you've had those achievements, those accomplishments that were just recent and fresh that makes you motivated, that gives you that build that energy, that builds that confidence, inflates that ego that you can do anything that you want, which is a great feeling to have. But you're going to come across those challenges that are going to make you fall at some point, and it's okay to fall because you can pick yourself up because you're consistent. When that motivation lacks, remember that when there's that gap of there's no motivation, that there's nothing that can use as a tool to motivate you and drive you in wanting to achieve those goals, just remember to be consistent. That motivation is going to come like waves. Sometimes those waves are going to be small, sometimes those waves are going to be massive, but they're going to come in waves. And the whole point is that you should just ride that wave until the next motivation wave comes. So I want to talk about setting goals because your goals should act as a guidance to where you want to be in your life. We need to know that we are achieving something, which is that end goal. So we explore that journey because we can see the vision of our end goal at some point. And I say start as soon as possible. If you have that goal, do it right now. It's important to set short and long term goals. So they have an acronym for having SMART goals. And when I say the word SMART, it's an acronym for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time based. So make sure your goals are specific on what you can do, something achievable that you can do. Even if it's something that doesn't seem achievable, that's what the confidence helps you. That's what the preparation helps you. That's where you help prepare for that compliance that helps leads to that confidence in order to help you achieve those goals. So just have the specific goals measurable. So how will you evaluate these goals? What indicators will help you to know that what you're doing is helping you achieve your goals? So you just have to have certain indicators. And this is kind of go back to just setting up smaller goals for yourself to help prepare for those bigger goals. Because once you're able to accomplish those smaller goals, it helps builds that compliance to that confidence to help you achieve those bigger goals. Realistic, which is something that's possible that you're able to do yourself. And these need to be time based. So give yourself deadlines, give yourself dates on when you want to get these goals done. These deadlines don't have to be hard deadlines. So if you don't get it done, you don't have to assume that you failed at it. You just maybe you have to push a deadline. But at least a date or a deadline makes it more achievable that you kind of given your those small goals that it helps prepare for you to have that end goal. But also recognize the work that you do, reward yourself for the work that you do, especially those smaller goals to help prepare for those bigger goals. Those bigger goals that you want to celebrate. But don't forget about those smaller goals. Those smaller goals is what helps drive you to get to those bigger goals. You need to reward yourself, recognize everything that you've done to help prepare for these goals and just enjoy the journey because that's what the most important thing about setting your goals is the journey. So don't fret if you at some point you don't get to the end goal that you achieve because what you should appreciate more is the journey. The journey is so awesome. The journey is what allows you to meet new people, to realize new things about yourself and help you realize your potential and that you can do anything that you can set your mind to. But it'll start with setting those goals for yourself. Develop those smaller goals to get to those bigger goals. Make sure these goals are SMART. So just make sure they're specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time based. And just remember the importance of your time and what you're capable of doing with it.